This is the new Chery TIGGO 4, and it's a car that I personally would not buy, but it's one I'll actually end up recommending to lots of people. Here's why. Now, before people start commenting that, Matt, Chery's paying you to say nice things about their car, not true, because if I was being paid, I wouldn't be saying things such as this. If you know where to look, bits of this car feel really cheap. Look at this. Ooh. And when you shut the rear door, the boot vibrates. And that's not the only vibrating thing on this car. The rear view mirror on this car wobbles like crazy. Watch this. Look at it. It's terrible. This is not paint. If you look closely, you will see it's a wrap. Look at that. Look. A badly done wrap. Looks like they've taken it to Yanni Mize. Sorry, Yanni, only joking. There's no lights for the vanity mirrors. Then there's this bit of trim here. I don't know why it's not smooth like this bit. Look, it's like there should be an end cap on it, but there's just not, to save money. Also, what are these switches for? Look, they're clearly for a sunroof that's not there. You do get the sunroof in other markets, but I don't know why in this market they just didn't have a different panel there. Once again, saving money. Thing is, the Chinese are pretty smart. They're saving money in areas that only a geek like me will spot. The benefit is that this car is insanely good value for money. It starts from under £20,000. This range topper under £22,000. It's so new, there's no carwow discount yet, but in a few months there will be one, and it could be up to £2,000, which means this range topper could be under 20 grand, which is nuts. So make sure you go to carwow, see what offers are available on this car by following the links in the description, the pinned comment, and whatever's appearing on the screen right now. And in some ways, this car does actually feel expensive. I do not know of a car at this price point that has posh gas struts for the bonnet. And then there's the engine that you're getting for your money. This car has way more power than its similarly priced competitors. So we've got a 1.5 litre petrol engine, hybrid system, 200 horsepower. That's the same amount of horsepower as a Mark V Golf GTI had. Let's see if it is as quick as one from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, bit of wheel spin. Oh, here we go. What's it going to do? No, it's not as fast as the Golf. 9.6. What's it done with all its power? It's actually supposed to do 0 to 60 in 8.9 seconds. Let's change the mode. Sport mode. Here we go. Yes! That's it! That's it! We've got the petrol motor doing something now. Wow, what a difference! 7.9 seconds. Not as quick as a Mark V Golf GTI. That's 6.9 seconds. But significantly quicker than I got in a Renault Captur, which is about the same money. That car took 9.2 seconds to 60. I mean, it does make a racket when you're accelerating in sports mode, but woof. Okay, let's see if it stops as well as it goes. So brake test from 60 miles an hour, and then I'm just gonna do a full emergency stop. We're looking at around 35, maybe 34 meters. 3, 2, 1. Hey, felt good. 36 meters, so that's all good, and there's something else I need to show you that's good. You see, a lot of journalists compare this car to the likes of a Volkswagen T-Cross and a Renault Captur because it's in a similar price point, even though it undercuts those cars. But in terms of size, like the length and the width, it's similar in dimensions to cars from the class above, such as a Volkswagen T-Roc. You're getting a lot of car for your money. You could also argue that you're getting a lot of cars for your money. You see, it's almost like the designers came up with a mood board with various other cars on there to give them inspiration, but rather than just using them for ideas, they just took the various parts of the cars and put them together. I'll show you what I mean now. The front is like a DS7. This part is very much like the previous generation Volkswagen T-Roc, while this bit is more Tiguan. Even the badge is a bit of a copy. It's like an Infinities. Then there's this design element, which I'm sure I've seen on another car before, but I can't remember which one, so maybe you can comment if you recognise it. However, none of this will matter to buyers of this car. What will is whether it's an easy car to live with on their commute. This car is absolutely fine for people who aren't that into driving, but if you are, you may find it somewhat lacking, and here is why. The cornering, it's okay at first, but if you go a bit too quick, it starts to run out of ideas and push wide and get a little bit out of shape. Then when you floor the throttle, if you're in sports mode, you get this noise from the engine when you put your foot down. Then there's the steering, which, you know, when you like spill Coke or some soft drink over your computer keyboard and then the key sticks, the steering's like that. When you first try to turn it, it's like it's stuck, and then you get past that bit, and then the resistance that you have is the same no matter how much steering lock you apply. It's all a bit odd. Also, there's a bit of a dead zone in the steering. Look at that. I mean, look. What? So this is not the sort of car that you derive any sort of driving pleasure from. But it's not so bad that it comes out the other side and just becomes a bit of a laugh to drive because it's so comical, a bit in the way that my Suzuki Jimny does. It's not bad enough to actually be good, if that makes sense. And to be fair, I do think that a Renault Captur does handle slightly better. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner appearing up there, scan the QR code on screen, or follow the link in the description. However, handling isn't everything. Thing is, most people don't drive like me, and they'll actually be impressed the moment they sit in this car because they'll go, wait a minute, the interior of this is way posher than you'd expect for this price point. In fact, you've got soft touch materials here on the door. I've got a Kia EV5 in at the moment. It's twice the price of this, and you don't have that on that car. In fact, all the materials here feel good. It's solid. It looks nice. The infotainment screen is sharp, clear, it's easy to use, and oh, why am I pressing home when I'm already in home? I meant to press that button there. Look, and yeah. However, the screen itself is a little bit far away, so you do have to lean forward to operate it. The digital driver's display, that is clear as well. It's simple. And I like the fact that you have separate controls from the climate. You can do it through the screen, but you can do it through this panel as well. Shame it's not physical buttons and it's just like touch sensitive buttons. And this is a bit odd. Look. So you think that's going to be a slider, but it's not. If you slide it, the whole thing gets confused. Look, I'm sliding it, it's getting confused. Look, it's getting confused. What you actually have to do is just tap the big one or tap the small one. Why didn't they just do it like that? That just freaks your brain out. Other than that though, everything is fairly logically laid out. However, word of warning, if you have the entry-level car, you don't get this faux leather interior and you get a plastic steering wheel. Blech. The switch gear feels nicely damped. There's decent storage and everything feels solid. This range topping car has 50-watt wireless charging, decent cup holders, more storage under here. You've got your USBs and stuff down there as well, look. Decent sized glove box. And the door bins, they are big. The seating position is good as well, and there's enough adjustment in the steering wheel. The only thing that's lacking is the fact that no model gets lumbar support for either the driver or the passenger. I think this car is fine with people with families. Look, knee room's good, headroom's good. The floor's almost completely flat. There's plenty of foot space. If you need to carry 3 people at once, you can do, so jump in, guys. So as with all cars of this size, you know, shoulder room is tight, but even the people on the either side of me, headroom and knee room's fine. Yeah. All right, jumping out. It's got enough space back here as well to fit a baby seat. It's a bit of a faff, the location of the Isofix. They're a bit high up, but once you've got your seating position, there's plenty of room even for a bulky rear-facing seat. So that is all good. What's not so good is that it doesn't feel quite as plush in the back as it does in the front, because here, look, you've got hard plastics on the door tops. Although, do you know what? A Volkswagen Tiguan is just the same, and this is a bit cheaper filling here. And this panel here, it looks like it's going to have climate control behind it, but it's just blanked out because the ignition's not on. No, it's just shiny plastic. And why oh why in this day and age you only have one old school USB here in the back? I don't know. And there's other areas you see a little bit of cost saving. Listen to this. Not that. Or the fact that the window doesn't go all the way down. It's that. Listen to that. That's quite noisy. In fact, I wonder what the anti-pinch function is like. Will it take off your child's finger? No, it won't. Nothing to worry about. It's just noisy. Sorry, Chery, for doubting you. Last thing to know, armrests, a couple of cup holders, aren't covered, but given the price point, we do not care. But there is something we do care about, because this car needs to be easy to drive in town, doesn't it? Because that's where most people are going to use it. So this car is fairly easy to navigate in tight spaces. Look, we're squeezing through this gap, no problem. It's because you sit quite high. Visibility is generally good. Big door mirrors, decent back window, fine. What's not so fine is the suspension can feel a little bit lumpy. It's not terrible, but when you're driving over uneven surfaces, it does get a little bit jiggly. One thing I can't fault though are the brakes. So on quite a few Chinese hybrids and EVs, they can be a little bit grabby, but these ones aren't. which is good. There's another area that this car is good, and it's the manoeuvrability. Now, if you compare the turning circle to cars of a similar price, like a Skoda Kamiq, it's not quite as good, but this is bigger. It's the same size as a Volkswagen T-Roc. If I press this button, I can get up 360-degree view, and then I can see the way I'm turning. Gives me a good idea of whether I'm going to get round in one go. Yeah. All good. That is a good feature though, isn't it? Being able to do that. Look either side of the car. That's nice. If you're the kind of person that likes to lease their vehicles, this car will not be for you, because at the moment the leasing price over 3 years works out to about £17,000. So you may as well buy it, because the depreciation over that period will just be £9,000. However, better leasing deals will come through, and to make sure you're up to date, head to Carwow. Follow the link in the description or the pinned comment. But there's an alternative. You see, for the same money as in an entry level one of these, you could get yourself this used 30,000 mile, 2-year-old Volkswagen T-Roc on Carwow. But when you're buying used, you always need to keep your wits about you. That's why I recommend you do a Car Vertical used car history check. And here's an example of a VW T-Roc which has a dodgy past. Look, it's got questionable mileage, it's got photos of accident damage as well, so you can either walk away from the car and reject it, or use that information to negotiate a lower price. If you want to head to Car Vertical now, follow the link in the description of this video, or scan the QR code, or click on the pop-out banner and use the code CARWOW for 20% off. Now, I want to show you some cool features on this car, which are quite surprising considering the price. There's this little icon there in the door. What that does is light up if it senses that a car is about to pass you, or a cyclist. Here's how it works. So there's a car coming past. I want to get out. Oh, I'm just going to get out now. But, oh no, I'm not going to, because that just flashed, because there's a car coming. There's a handy USB up there so that you can plug in a charging point for your dash cam, rather than having like wires like dangling all across the place. This hybrid can be super efficient. When I was being sensible, I achieved 56 mpg. Chery gives you a 100,000 mile, 7-year warranty. Though it's actually an extra year on top, 8 years for the battery. It's very simple to turn off all the annoying driver assistance systems. You can just quickly swipe down on the screen and then just dab away at them like that. Oh, go away. Yeah, just go away. You also get a reasonable amount of boot space for your money. 430 litres, though this is a bit odd, look. There's a hump there because of the battery. Will it affect how many suitcases I can fit in? Let's go. That will be 5, but there's something else you need to know about the boot. You see, when you fold the seats down, you get a bit of a lump there. And I'll show you the problem with that. When you try to push things through like that, it's a bit more problematic. As you can see, and that's not all, look, this boot doesn't actually open that high. It's all right for me, look, because I'm not the tallest. Lewis, look, it's crushing his gelled hair. He's not happy. So where does that leave us? Well, while I personally wouldn't buy one, and I wouldn't recommend it for people who are into cars and driving, for the vast majority of people who just want something that is insanely good value for money, this is hard to ignore. And that's why I'll be recommending to many people that they should go right ahead and buy a Chery TIGGO 4. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of my verdict in the comments. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the video windows and click on the Carwow logo to see how much you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.